Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about the pluperfect tense. That's right. It is another tense that happened in the past. So far we've learned about the imperfect tense, which is an incomplete action that happened in the past, such as I was walking to school. We've learned about the perfect tense, which is a completed action, I walked to school. And today we're going to learn specifically about another tense, the pluperfect. So the pluperfect tense is a specific tense that is used to describe an action that happened before another past tense word. Now, what does that even mean in context? It seems like, how can something happen in the past before the past? It's like a double past sort of situation. So in order to explain this, let's think about the question, what did you do before you came to school? Now, if I say I came to school, which is true because I'm currently sitting in my classroom, that is a completed action. I have finished the action of coming to school. That is the perfect tense. But we're going to be talking about what happened before I completed the action of coming to school, which is the pluperfect tense. So let's look at this first one. Before I came to school, I had made my lunch. So that part gives us some sort of linear timeline. Although in actual order, it looks like I came to school and then made my lunch. If you actually read this in an English context, we see that that's not actually what happened. Before I came to school, I had made my lunch, meaning before I came to school, my lunch was made. So this is an example of the pluperfect tense. So an action that was completed in the past before the other past tense word. So before I came to school, I had brushed my teeth. So I had brushed my teeth and then I came to school. So you'll see that this had is a word that we use in English to describe something that came before some sort of past tense word. So let's make a timeline here. So right now we have the present tense. That is happening right now, and we've done that. And we'll translate that as, let's use in English as the word walk. So the present form of that is walks. She walks to the store. She is walking to the store. If it's going to happen later, that would be the future tense. That would be will walk. She will walk to the store. We've had the imperfect that I'm going to show here. It sort of happened in the past. And this imperfect would be was walking. And we have the perfect tense, which is a completed action, which is the ed form. She walked to the store. Now we're going to show where this pluperfect is on this timeline. We said that the pluperfect happened before other past tense verbs. So it's going to come way before the imperfect and way before the perfect. It's going to be the first thing. The pluperfect would go right here. And this would be translated, or this would be said as had walked. So we see we have 5 different tenses here. We had walked, which is the pluperfect, walked, which is the perfect, was walking, which is the imperfect, walks or is walking in the present, and will walk in the future. But let's talk about what it will look like in Latin. Now, it is going to come from your third principal part, just like your perfect tense, because the third principal part shows completed actions. Just like we used to use amar we and then the endings I, isti, it, imis, istis, iwent for the perfect tense, we are now going to use different endings for the pluperfect, and they should look familiar. Your endings will be iram, idas, idat, iramus, iratis, irant. So I would have, if I wanted to say I had loved, I would use my third principal parts, A, M, A, V, and then add my new ending, E, R, A, M. I had loved. What if I want to say we had loved? A, M, A, V, because I just took off the I here, and then add E, R, A, M, U, S. We had loved. So you're just using your third principal part, taking off, because that's your perfect ending, and adding the endings eram, iras, irat, iramis, iratis, irant. But wait, we've seen these endings before. We've always told that they meant the was or were. So what exactly is happening? That's a great question. So let's talk about that. So let's take a look at these two sentences. You can have the forms iram, iras, irat, iramas, iratas, irant in two different ways. You can have them as standalone verbs, or you can have them as an ending. So let's take a look at what they look like by themselves. So we have irat. When we have it as a standalone word, it's not a part of another verb. This is where you have it as the imperfect form assume, or was or were. The mother was happy. That hasn't changed. So when you see these forms of irat by themselves, we know it's going to be a was or were. But we look here at the same word irat, but now it's an ending. We now know this is the pluperfect tense. So this would be the mother had praised me. The mother had praised me. So there's a difference between whether you see it right here as a standalone word or a part of an ending. Because as a standalone word, you're going to still use was or were. But when you use it as a part of a verb, that's when you'll use this magical word had. So let's review what we learned today. The pluperfect tense uses the imperfect form assume as its endings, which are iram, iras, irat, iramus, iratus, irant. So you can have it as a standalone word, or you can have it as an ending. The pluperfect tense happened before another past action in the sentence. So it would be the first thing in this little timeline that you're doing. The pluperfect tense will be translated with an had and an ed form of a verb. All right, let's go see if we can translate some sentences with the pluperfect tense.